Hey everybody, this is Russell Broadhead with Heroes of Hearing, and today we are, I don't know if we're stressing out or seeing great new opportunity or what is going on. The FDA has just released their final approval in regards to the over-the-counter hearing aids, and that's where, again, it's like this huge document, a bunch of pages. In the past, they've said it's been over 200, but I just downloaded it. It's like 60-something pages, and I haven't had a chance to go through it yet. But again, that's what I'm going to be looking forward to and going in and just getting more information. We found that I had a call with some other hearing specialists this morning, and again, we're just diving deep into the document and what it means and how it's changing regulations in regards to hearing devices. So let me give you a rundown of my takeaways of what was said at that meeting and what's also in that document. So again, more detailed information still coming out, but as far as FDA approval, FDA has approved over-the-counter hearing devices. So what does that mean? That means that in mid-October, that's when over-the-counter hearing devices will be showing up in different stores where you as a consumer can go and purchase a device over the counter. You don't need to see a doctor, have a prescription, or anything. So really it's taking down any barriers that might be hindering you from getting help with your hearing. So there's pluses and minuses to this. And there's a huge discussion I would love to have with everybody, and get your comments and post below, because we talk about a few things. We talk about safety, right? If you are able to get devices and don't know if you have wax in your ears or something's blocking sound from hitting your eardrum, you know, is it really a benefit to you to get a device when you could just get your ears cleaned out, and that would save you any extra money trying to wear a device to help you hear? If you have hearing loss, how do you know what type of hearing loss you have, right? So it sounds like on the box and the labeling on these devices, it's going to give you certain questions. Like, do you turn the TV up louder? Are you asking people to repeat? Like, they're going to be so very basic that it's not a true scientific hearing test to know, do I have hearing loss? Now, there are devices that are already out in the market where you can get like it's called a PSAP. And these PSAPs, again, they amplify sound equally up to a certain volume level. And what I found is some patients where they've gotten those and they've come and seen me after, because those devices haven't worked and they've worn them for so many years, it's actually damaged their hearing more than it would have if they would have just gotten a professional hearing device. So as I'm jumping all over the place, let me go back. So they have approved over-the-counter devices. There's going to be two different types of over-the-counter devices. Those that are non-programmable, which sounds similar to like a PSAP where it's just going to amplify a certain volume level. And two, those that are programmable, where you as a consumer with an app can adjust the hearing device to fit your needs. Okay. And then the other category is the prescription category of hearing devices. So that's where I've been working in. When you go in and you see an audiologist or you see a hearing instrument specialist and they prescribe a hearing device to you, that's the prescription device section. So those are the three different categories that the FDA is approved. And again, over the counter is where you can get them without coming in and seeing me or any other professional. And then the third is a prescription base, where you come in and see a professional. And as far as guidelines, there's pluses and minuses to this. Like, one of the pluses is with insurance, there's some insurances where they say you have to be seen by your primary doctor or by an audiologist who has a doctorate degree, or an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And there are certain things that I don't have that degree. I am a hearing instrument specialist. I studied underneath an audiologist who walked me through best practices, and that's what we implement here at Heroes of Hearing. But I don't do pediatric. We don't work with children under 18. So that's when you would still go see an audiologist or somebody that does pediatric. For those that need cochlear implants or any type of surgery, like, I don't specialize in that. I don't do that. right? But if we see certain things in your testing, well, yeah, then I'm referring you or having your primary doctor refer you to a specialist that can go into more detail. But we can see these red flags as we do your test, right? But if you're not coming in and you're not seeing anybody for your hearing evaluation, well, guess what? Well, now you're just guessing, and now there could be something that needs to be addressed now that we're prolonging, and it's going to have a greater effect, and you have no idea. So that's kind of the negative side of it. The other thing is people have been saying, well, these over-the-counter hearing devices are going to be so much cheaper, and yeah, they might range between $500 to $1,500 for the devices, or the device, but at the same time, like, what are you actually getting with that? Are you getting a 1-year warranty? Are you getting any type of follow-up care? Or is it just a consumer electronic device to put a Band-Aid on your hearing until things get even worse? And that's when we start to jump into like Alzheimer's, dementia that has been linked to hearing loss. And will these devices truly help slow that process down? I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking no, because it's not a professionally fit device, right? It's not a prescribed device that has your hearing information in. And then one of the other questions that were posed was, okay, well, where do I get a hearing test, right? A lot of places now you can go online to people's websites and you can get them tested there. Is that a true hearing test? Like, does that count? Is that accurate? Is it kind of accurate? You know, and when you go and you read the fine print in some of those websites where they allow you to do that, right? It says, well, we could be 10 decibels off. Well, 10 decibels might not sound like a huge thing to you, but in my field, it is. So for you to not be able to hear an S sound or a T sound as sharp or clear, again, goes right back to what you already might be experiencing, where you're not getting that clarity. So you're asking people to repeat because you didn't understand if they said peach or teach or hot or pot. So really it comes down to safety, it comes down to care, right? It sounds like through these other models, you're really not going to get much care other than now you're dealing with the manufacturer or you're just dealing with the device itself. So the other thing that came up was price, right? We talked about how price is going to be a lot less than what it normally is. Well, when we start to look at some of the barrier, right? So some of the documentation says, well, us as professionals, we're the barrier, right? Because, we're doing all these markups and all these things on the hearing devices. And when we start to dive into that, there's a few things that we're looking at, right? One, the cost of the hearing device to us. Like, I'm not getting these devices for $100 or $500. I'm paying thousands of dollars for me personally to get these devices, right? So yeah, if the price of the hearing devices dramatically went down, that would be great, because then from an owner and a practitioner standpoint, we would have, again, more profit to go towards all of our bills. Our office space, which again costs thousands a month to have us be in a location where you can come in and see us. And again, we have salary, we have taxes, we have all these expenses, and I know some of you might be like, well, I don't care. Well, as a provider and trying to provide for the community, it takes energy, it takes time, and it takes money. And that's why we've had to charge the prices that we've charged so we can stay in business. So there's a lot of stuff that we can start to see shift in this whole new market. Are we going to have more business owners, more private business owners go out of practice? Are we going to have more fly-by-night companies coming in offering lower and lower prices on devices, and then all of a sudden not being in the market? Like, you look at Bose, right? Bose is this huge company that's been around. They jumped into the hearing market. They were going to start doing devices. Well, and then all of a sudden they dropped out, and then they pushed everything over to Lively, where they're like, hey, we're not going to do this. So how many other big corporations are going to try this to jump into a hearing market just so they can get more market share, more money, more profit? so for me, I guess it just all depends on how you look at it. Like I just see all these huge big corporations trying to make more money at the bottom end from you and cutting out any type of care and follow up and making sure you're taken care of, right? And for me personally, like all the money that we have that comes into our practice like helps our hearing practice. It helps the community. It helps me provide for my family, my 8 kids. And not only that, but be able to provide service for everybody here in Tucson that's struggling with hearing devices and needs an extra hand. So, and then the charities that we donate to, right? So there's all these things that we do. I'm not making $55 million as a CEO like some of the insurance companies are from, it's just, again, I can go on a tangent talking about all this stuff where there's parts about big corporate that I don't care too much for because it feels like the focus is on the money and not on the patient, not on you. And now you as a consumer are raising your hand saying, we want that. We want people to not care for us. We want the price to be lower so it doesn't cost so much. We want to make these corporations wealthier. And maybe because we're invested in the stock market, I have no idea. But these are some of the issues that I start to look at as a private practice owner and how can I continue to provide care and servicing, right? So these are some of the things that have come out recently with the FDA approving over-the-counter hearing devices. I would love to have this conversation and just help me understand your perspective. Like, what are your thoughts with this? Are you excited that you can go get devices over the counter like your cheaters for your eyeglasses? Do you feel like it's even needed to have a professional? Or what do you feel like you're struggling in, right? One of the issues in one of the comments that was posed was, okay, so what now if we have people that start coming into our practices that have all these different devices they got over the counter? Like, are we going to be able to identify what device that is? Are we going to be even able to help them? And that's a good question. We might not be able to help you with these current over-the-hearing devices, or we might be able to clean them up. That might be the only servicing that we might be able to do. I don't know. Like, this is so new that only time will tell. But as a provider, this is a great time for us as all providers to shift and to look at what is our game plan in the next 5 to 10 years and what can we do to stay around. Like, I don't want to go the age of the dinosaur. Like, I don't want to be obsolete. And I know as they've done research in other countries like Japan, like right now the satisfactory rate with hearing devices seen by professionals, so prescribed hearing devices, the satisfaction rate's been 88%. So there was a study that was done in Japan a while ago, like years and years ago, where they tried this over-the-counter type device, and most patients, most consumers were not satisfied with how they were hearing. So, but when they went into a professional, their satisfaction rate improved dramatically. So let me know what your thoughts are with over-the-counter devices. We're always trying to find ways to make it more of a better of an investment for you as a patient, and create a win-win for everybody, so we can all be able to not only hear but live better and just enjoy the rest of our life and live a quality life. So again, this is Russell Broadhead with Heroes of Hearing. Thanks for watching, and comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And I'll see you in the next video.